Okay, guys, for AP World History, I wanted to go through with you guys an example of what I consider to be a really good counter thesis. Hopefully this will help you guys out to understand what I'm looking for here that's being used by the student in a really effective way, I think, to demonstrate a counter thesis. In order to do this, we have to start off with where the counter thesis is placed. So you'll notice in this particular paper, this is the introduction. Okay, as we get down here to the thesis area down in this bottom section here, okay, there's the thesis. Now notice in the second paragraph then, the student is going to provide a counter thesis. Now how does this particular student do this? Okay, the student starts off really quickly by telling us that this is going to be a counter thesis. And the student does that by saying right here, some historians argue. There's your first element of the counter thesis. Okay, I'm getting a clear idea that we're going to be told, yeah, you know, there's some other people who would give an argument off of this. So right here we have a clash, okay, coming from another source. So excellent way to start this off. This would be something that I would strongly suggest you do in order to make that clear to whoever's reading your paper that this is what another historian would say off of this. Now, as we go further into this, positive effects of the Industrial Revolution, such as higher life expectancies, a rise in living standards, and a booming economy, outweigh. Okay, now all of a sudden we are told right here that this is going to be a counter thesis. How do we do that? By using this clear argument turn, okay, that we are going to be providing an outweighing argument. Okay, so really good argument there, really good structure to the argument. We still need some more to it though. We're going to need a reason that's going to be given about why we have something that's outweighing. One thing I want you to notice, look here too on what the author is providing here. Okay, we have this vague term about negative, right? So on that alone, that would not be a really good way to structure your argument, but look at what this student does in the very next sentence. She's going to tell us about why there are these positive effects and negative effects. Mass production of products, there's a positive effect. Okay, it's going to be a specific effect. What these people mean by positive effects versus negative effects. Led to higher product affordability. There's another specific effect that's given to us that modifies positive. And food population rates, there's a specific effect. Okay, notice again, not the vague positive negative, we are being given specific effects. So also, since many people flock to the cities, new forms of sanitation were implemented. There's another specific effect. So what the student is saying is, look, a lot of historians argue there are more positive effects than negative effects, and we're told what positive versus negative means. Now, the problem is, counter thesis, we still have to do the opposite side of this. How do we return back to the thesis? And this student is going to do that right there. Okay. However, so we have a clear transition word that leads us back to the student's thesis. Even though the revolutions did have many positive effects in individual and communal life, it created long-lasting negative. Okay, now if the student were to stop here, this would be vague, but notice what the student's going to do. Negative social, okay, that's still kind of vague. Environmental repercussions. Okay, now we've got a specific effect here that's weighing. And here we've got a reason, okay, why the thesis is going to outweigh. Okay? So this is what I'm looking for. So again, just to give you guys a sense of this, okay, what this student does is up here at the top of the counter thesis, the student's going to tell us this is a counter thesis by saying some other people might make this argument. We're given positive and negative, but this is modified with specific issues like production of crops, product affordability, higher population rates. We're also using the word outweigh, so we know that this is going to be outweighed. It's going to be a clash with the thesis. Here's the transition word back to the thesis, okay, for the clash, however. Okay, and then when we come back to this page here up at the top, we are told, hey, look, here's my reason why this is going to outweigh. It's because of those negative environmental impacts. So hopefully this tutorial is going to help a little bit and give you guys a sense of what I'm looking for as far as a counter thesis goes and what the structure is and how to make it specific. Thanks a lot. See you in class.